If you're looking at video cassette recorders and you're confused by all your choices, just look at the most important feature of all, the picture. And Sony Betamax records a sharper picture than VHS. That's not just our opinion. In tests throughout the country, more people said the picture was sharper with Sony Betamax than VHS. So how many choices do you really have? Only one. Sony Betamax, a sharper picture.
Hey guys, I'm just going to do kind of a quick video today. With the holidays coming up and everything, I haven't had a whole lot of time to work on videos and articles and stuff, so I'm just kind of throw this out there, some filler. But yeah, this right here is a Betamax player, a Sony Betamax player. And basically, for those that don't really know what that is, that was the competition to VHS, and you guys remember VHS tapes. Well, this was the competition, and this was Betamax. Sony came out with this format, and it's very similar to VHS. Supposedly, it's actually a little bit better. The quality is a little bit better, and Betamax actually far outlived VHS. I'm not sure when VHS production stopped, but I know Betamax production stopped, I think, this year. No, it hasn't even stopped yet. Actually, Sony has announced they were going to stop production of Betamax in, I believe, the end of 2016. So they're still making Betamax stuff. And that's because it really fell out of favor in the consumer market. VHS really dominated in the consumer market throughout the 90s. But professional market, Betamax, was pretty much the standard for, news, things like that. Everything's pretty much gone digital. But yeah, for the longest time, Betamax really dominated the professional video recording market. So like broadcast studios and things like that used Betamax. Growing up, we didn't have a Betamax player. I didn't know anybody that had a Betamax player. I never saw one in the store. Although, by the time I was kind of conscious of the world enough, it was well past its prime. It was like late 80s, early 90s. It pretty much had died out in the consumer market by then. Really, I only knew about Betamax. Basically, it was kind of a joke. Look at that. Cat just vanished. Strange. Anyways, it was kind of a joke. My earliest recollection of knowing about Betamax was like Married with Children, because they had a Betamax player. And it was kind of a joke because, it was kind of seen like, oh, you backed the losing horse. VHS went out. Betamax was the losing format. So it was kind of a joke if you had a Betamax player. And that's kind of how I was introduced to the format, or I remember it coming up on like TV shows and conversation and whatnot. So this is Betamax player. I picked it up, I forget how much, probably like $7.99 at Goodwill. It was a couple months ago. This is a kind of a higher end model. This is an SL HF600, and this came out in May 1985. So it was a little bit, not the latest player, but it was kind of later in the production. It's a Super Beta Hi-Fi player. So it has some special features, it does frame by frame, slow motion, Super Beta Hi-Fi. It's a little better, it's a little better. It went through, how there's VHS and there's like Super VHS that had better resolution. Well, this was kind of a better version of regular Beta. It had a little bit better resolution. I don't really know the technical details of it. I don't really know a lot about Betamax. I just thought it was kind of cool when I picked it up. I love the aesthetic of this thing. But yeah, this, just all these buttons, and like the record is more of it's not like a button, you like slide it over. All these, just a lot of cool things. I think there's also different there's like Betamax 1 and 2 and 3. And I believe that has to do with recording time. And I believe this can do up to Beta 3, I think it's called. So yeah, there's a kind of cool feature. You got like, buttons over here. I don't even know what all this stuff does. I just like the buttons. There's a little thing on top with more buttons. And it's just, this thing actually does work. I played a beta movie or tape on it, and it runs. Yeah, I mean, it's supposedly a better picture, and I mean, you know, tests have showed it's better picture compared to VHS. I don't know. It was real nostalgic for me actually watching it because it looked so VHS-ish, and it reminded me of being a kid again. And like on the back, there's nothing really special back here. Beta Hi-Fi, you can turn it on and off. I don't know why. Maybe that's time or compatibility issues. I don't know for sure. There's a control thing. UHF, VHF out, the usual. Nothing too special. We got stereo and composite. There's no S-video or definitely no component or anything fancy like that. But yeah, this would be a mid-range player. I believe this retailed for like $1,000. You know, anywhere from like $700 to $1,000. It wasn't the top model, but you know, it was up there, like high mid-range model for 1985. So here, I'll just show you a comparison. You know, here's a VHS tape, and here's Betamax. So it's sort of very similar. It's shorter. It's about the same. Make sure, there we go. Let me back out a little bit. Make sure you're getting all this. So yeah, it's about the same. At the height, it's smaller, but it's pretty much the same width, maybe a little bit. So let's take it out. So they're kind of very, very similar. I found this. I actually found this later at a like a swap meet. There was just a box of like beta tapes for like a penny or 10 cents or something. But this is a cleaning kit. Clean the heads. And then this, most of them were like home movies, and I wasn't really interested in that. But this was a Sony Super Beta Hi-Fi, which this is a Super Beta Hi-Fi, and it's a demonstration tape. There we go. Might be too late. Yeah, this was a demonstration tape for demonstration or promotional purposes for Super Beta. So I thought this would be cool to kind of put in and play, and it worked. Copyright 1985, which is weird. I did not find this with this machine, but it's almost like this is. I think this may have even been the tape to showcase this machine. So it's weird. I don't know. Maybe it was the same person. Maybe the same person donated this player to Goodwill and all the way across town, and then, you know, like 6 or 7 or months or a year later or something, then they donate these things to like the Boy Scout booth at the swap meet. I don't know. That's kind of a weird coincidence in a huge city, because you know, I live in the Phoenix area, so I mean, but who knows? Stranger things have happened. But yeah, it's kind of cool to have the demonstration tape with what I think may be for this model or around it. I believe there was a model looked very similar that was one step up, and then one that was one step down. It had, you know, less features for the step up, one down, and more features for the step up. But anyways, yeah, that is the Betamax player. So I don't have too many technical details and stuff, but you know, I'm relatively new to the whole beta scene. I like the aesthetic. I just thought, you know, I like this kind of old technology. I like laser discs, and I always kind of wanted a beta player because I knew of them, but I didn't actually have one. And I thought this was a cool player. Got like filters, input select tracking, love tracking, record level. Not really sure what that's supposed to do. Yeah, but that's cool. So I think I'm gonna leave this. I'll leave you with some footage with this. Let's see if I can take some direct capture of this wonderful demonstration Sony tape for you guys. So thank you for watching.